Hello. Welcome to Capper Comparison Picks. Tonight I will be giving you the Capper Comparison Picks for select fights for UFC Long Island. Ortega versus Rodriguez. I know you guys have missed me. Unfortunately, I usually make videos every Monday through Friday, every day. Well, Friday I do the live stream. But this week I've had a very hectic week, and I'm still crunched on time. So unfortunately I can only bring you one video this week. I know usually I go over the entire card, every fight, but I had to pick out 4 fights. So I picked 2 prelims and 2 main card fights to give you a Capper Comparison Picks for. It was a difficult decision, but I can only put out videos just tonight. And I have to kind of make this actually kind of quick too. A big day tomorrow's the opening day of Saratoga Racetrack, and it's a big deal from where I live. It's a big deal opening day. I already paid for my seat on the party bus going down to the track. Tonight I have to do a lot of research. I built a equation. I built a mathematical formula to pick winning horses. So I got a lot of work to do after this. So I'm gonna get right into this, and I know it's unfortunate that I wasn't able to go over every fight because, man, I would love to. I just haven't had the time to do the research and check out all the videos. I've just been busy, man. Busy. It's been a busy summer, very busy week. But nonetheless, I was still doing one show this week, and so at least I keep that content flowing. I did not quit. Did not drop off, even though I've gotten messages like, what's wrong with you? Are you sick? What's going on? And no, don't worry guys, I'm still making content, and I'm still gonna do the live stream on Friday with Manny from MMA Fight Club, and hopefully Dave will have his computer fixed by then, so I'll do that as well. But this week, I unfortunately can only do the videos I have presented in front of you. I can't even do a recap of last week, which I did fairly well. I'll just show you briefly. 7-4 overall. I did get the main event wrong, but whatever. I did fantastic. Started out with a bang. Boom, 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 boom. I'm just saying, I did make some plus money last week, but I don't have time to get into that because I have to do a lot of horsey research, horsey jockey trainer research, and plug everything into my formula so I can win $1,000 tomorrow. potentially even more than that. But anyway, let's get into this because I got every board covered here. I got 2 prelim fights, 2 main card fights. It was tough picking between this one and the Shane Burgos fight, but I went with this. Well, let's just get into this. So the first fight I'm covering is a light heavyweight fight between the Hanyak, Dustin Jacoby, and Seda, Jung. Interesting enough, Jung started out as an underdog. Thank God I put my money on him early because now he is flipped to the favorite. Dustin Jacoby opened up at -140. He is now +113. Jung opened up at +120. He is now -133. You see how the odds have switched for these 2 fighters. I'm going to break it down very quickly for you. And yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't. I know there's a ton of cappers to choose from. But I figured, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use the cappers that show the most support for my channel, that leave comments on my videos. On my channel. If there's a couple guys I might have forgot or overlooked, I'm sorry. I can only use 5 cappers per show. It is what it is, guys. So let's start with the favorite, I guess, Jung. Seda. He's fighting at a Korean top team. That's pretty good. They have a lot of good sponsorship over there. Korean top team, probably the best known facility out of Korea. He's coming off wins over Kennedy Nzechukwu, standing elbows, round 1. And before that, he had a unanimous decision over William Knight. Very good victory there. Prior to that, Okay. Summertime. He's hot. Losing weight. Prior to that, he did have a draw against Smiling Sam Alvey, which it should have been a loss. Dao Jung should have lost that. The judges gave it a robbery draw. Even Dao Jung was, if you rewatch the fight, even Dao Jung was kind of surprised. He was like, wow, I would have thought he beat me. But that's what his face said anyway. But they get a draw there against Sam Alvey. Before that, he does have a win over Mike Rodriguez, TKO round 1, and his UFC debut was against Khadis Ibragimov, where he guillotined him in round 3. Dao Jung will have a 1-inch height and half-inch reach advantage over the Hanyak Dustin Jacoby. Dustin Jacoby will be the older fighter here. He's 34 years old. Dao Jung is 28. All right, Dustin Jacoby coming off a nice recent 5 as well. Most recently, he had a unanimous decision victory over Michael Olasejchak. Michael Olasejchak did win one of those rounds, if I remember correctly, and it realistically could have gone the other way, but Dustin Jacoby did win that, and I think I did pick him there as well. Before that, he beat John Allen, unanimous decision. He got a standing TKO round 1 over Darren the Dentist Stewart. That's a good win. Before that, he had a draw against Ian Cutelaba. Cutelaba took him down several times in round 1, which sticks out in my head. Like, man, Dustin Jacoby trains out of Factory X, by the way. Before that, he had a unanimous decision victory over Maxime Grisham, so that's a good win as well. Dustin Jacoby, 17-5-1. Yeah, out of Factory X Muay Thai. It's going to be an interesting fight. As you can see, I told you the lines have flip-flopped. Jacoby does have, he was a 3-letter athlete in high school. He, I think it was football, wrestling, baseball maybe. I don't know, but he was a fantastic athlete throughout high school. But then he had a weird knee injury that caused him to not continue pursuing sports through college. And when he recovered from that injury, he went into the MMA. But also, I heard, I can't verify this, but I heard that one of these last 5 fights, maybe it was against Olasejchak, I forget. I think it was against Michael Olasejchak. He had re-hurt his leg, and that's why there was a lack of leg kicks. So this is what I heard. I can't remember who the capper was, but I did hear that. So let's see what the cappers have to say in this interesting fight. Maybe it'll clear up the reasoning of why these lines flipped, and I'll tell you what, it does clear it up, because the majority of the cappers are taking Jung. So, taking the favorite, we've got Cody, Blood Money. Cody, tonight's Wednesday. Him and Johnny K Picks will be doing a live stream tonight, Wednesday night. I think they do it around 8 o'clock Eastern time, if I'm correct. Be sure to check that out. Speaking of Johnny K, I'm using him too. Like I said, I decided to use the guys that help support my channel. These guys are the ones that leave their comments in the, leave their comments, and they're active on my live streams. If they're not participating in it, they're at least in the chat. So I, share the love. Give the love back to where you get it. Johnny K is saying Dao Jung should get the decision here. Then we got my man, Manny, MMA Fight Club. Also taking Dao Jung. He has a fantastic breakdown for this. Man, I don't know which link I'm going to use. If I should use his prelim link or his because he separates prelim fights, main card fights. Either way, I will. One of the links will be in there. Then we got, of course, I can't forget Dev the Dude and Cell the Red. Always big supporters of my channel. Dev and Cell both going Dao Jung. Cell actually is kind of on the fence, but he said as of right now he's leaning the way of Jung, but he might change his pick. So I will say that Cell, not confident at all with this. may even consider flipping to Jacoby. And finally, I can't do a show without featuring, if I'm only doing one show a week, I have to feature Nora's favorite capper, the Bulgarian Cowboy, Vlad from UFC Celebrities and Classics. He is being the contrarian picker here, the only one taking the Hanyak, Dustin Jacoby. He did not say method of victory, but he is strong taking that side. He thinks Jacoby's going to get the victory here, and it sure can go that way, but I got to go with my, with my Korean bias because I'm a half-breed Korean. So I'm going to go with Jung here. I just think, what's suspect is the age here. Dustin Jacoby's 34. That's kind of sussy. And the whole knee injury thing. And as Manny said, a lot of wear and tear on Jacoby. He's been coming out as the winner. But the dude has been taking damage, and at 38 or 34 years old, the recovery may not be 100% there. And will that knee injury rear its ugly head again? Who knows? So I'm going to take down Jung. He's got the tail of the tape. He's got the youth. He's got the height. He's got the reach. And he's coming off of, I heard Jung hasn't lost in 7 years. The dude has not taken a loss in 7 years, even though he should have took a loss against Sam Alvey. But nonetheless, down Jung. And I forgot what I took him on Tapology, but I did put my Tapology picks in already. I think I want to say I got him by decision. He's going to have control time with the wrestling. And I think stand-up, he's going to be given the more significant strikes and possibly the volume. Man, I did want to do a breakdown last week. Did you guys see Pretty Ricky with the... He's like somebody else said, oh, I think it was Cody. Somebody's like, he's like the male version of Caitlyn Chukagin. You are 100% right. Anyway, I don't have time to do that. But yeah, that was one of the losses I took last week. Disappointed Pretty Ricky Tertios. Anyway, moving on. Next we have the bantamweight fight between Ricky Simón and Jack Shore, Tank. Interesting enough, Jack Shore used to be, he is former Cage Warriors bantamweight champ. Ricky Simón, former LFA bantamweight champ. So we got champ versus champ here. Well, now they're both, in the UFC, but I'm saying back when they were in their respective lesser promotional scenes, both champions in their own right. Shore over Cage Warriors, Ricky Simón, LFA. Rick Simón, also a cousin to Vince Morales, who Vince Morales I know trains out of Syndicate, and Ricky Simón's over at ATT Portland because he lives in Vancouver, Washington. But I know as of recently, Vince Morales has gone up to help his cousin out get prepared for this fight against Jack Shore. Jack Shore will have a slight 2-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach advantage, fighting out of Shore MMA over in the UK. That's his family's gym, but the gym is top notch. They've put out fighters. Shore's been surrounded by MMA his entire life. I think his father was some sort of combat sports person back when Jack Shore was just a child. Everybody likes Jack Shore. Jack Shore, by the way, Dave, if you're watching, Mbae, if you're watching, and I know Real News MMA and Noah, I know you guys are watching because Jack Shore was one of my unranked contender picks, and he is now ranked number 11 points. I had to check those out because I know I've got more on my unranked contender team that have been put in the rankings. Jack Shore definitely one of them. So Dave, if you're watching, maybe I don't have time. Don't have the time, but I will get to that eventually. So let's discuss these guys. All right, Jack Shore comes in as a pretty sizable favorite, -160. Not sizable, but I think it's deserving. Jack Shore undefeated, 16-0. Most recently, he's been coming off wins over Timur Valiev, unanimous decision. I don't know, that one, That's a little iffy, that fight. You can argue Timur Valiev maybe had I don't know. I'm not gonna argue what's done is done. It's in the past. I don't like calling fights robberies, but I'm just saying really suspect fight there. Before that, unanimous decision against Ludwig Sholinian. With that, I think he came into that fight like a -400 favorite, so that's a give me. He should have won that. A split decision against Hunter Azur, American wrestler. Keep that in mind. Ricky Simón, fantastic wrestling abilities. Was a standout in high school. Could have went to college to wrestle. Decided to choose to go to MMA instead of college. Before that, he had a rear naked choke over Aaron Phillips, round 2. His UFC debut was against Nohelin Hernandez, rear naked choke, round 3. So he does have a little bit of rear naked choke ability if it does go to the ground. But now let's talk about his opponent, Ricky Simón. As I mentioned, Ricky Simón does have some wrestling chops. Was a standout in high school. I'm not sure if he won I think he made it to like the state championships, but lost. So he was a runner-up for state champion, and maybe in Washington, I want to say, because I know he's out of Vancouver, which is in British Columbia, Canada, but it's real, like super close to Portland, or it's close to, Washington. So I don't know where he wrestled, but I do know he was like a runner-up in high school for state championships, and he had like some college letters to go to college. Like, I don't know if it was full ride scholarships or whatnot, but he decided to pursue a career in MMA. Good for him. Ricky Simón's coming off wins over Rafael Sunsao. TKO round 2. That's an older Sunsao, kind of on the decline though. Before that, he beat Brian Kelleher, unanimous decision. Brian Boom Kelleher, also older fighter, kind of been on the decline for a bit. Before that, he beat Gaetano Perello, arm triangle round 2. That's a good one. Ray Borg beat him by split decision. Good tight victory there. And before that, he does have a loss against Rob Font, but Rob Font, contender at the time. That was a unanimous decision loss for Ricky Simón. Got beat by Rob Font. So interesting fight here. We got Jack Shore, well-rounded British striker with some wrestling chops of his own, because I want to say during his childhood, his Jack Shore's dad was like a wrestling coach or something over there, but I could be mixing it up with Mike Grundy. Mike Grundy also, his father. But I know he's been surrounded by combat fighting his entire life, Jack Shore. Okay, so let's see what the cappers have to say in this fight. Ricky Simón is two years older, but still both these guys on the right side of 30. So nothing doing in the age. And I did say Jack Shore does have a 2-inch height, 1-inch reach advantage. Let's see what the cappers have to say, starting with switching my marker to something that's actually an Expo marker, not a Target Office Depot dry erase. So we're gonna go with a legit marker. Starting with the favorite, Jack Shore, we've got Dev and Cell. Lock it in, they said. Future champion, they said future champion for Jack Shore. Dev and Cell. I'm gonna put the little lock symbol because they're saying lock this sucker in. They're high on Jack Shore. Both of them claiming he will be a future bantamweight champ. All right, guys, we shall see. Then we've got, jumping over here, we've got Manny, MMA Fight Club. He's on the side of Ricky Simón. MMA Fight Club Manny, thank you. Then we've got Vlad, UFC. Celebrities and Classics, also taking Jack Shore. Everybody likes Jack Shore. Jack Shore! Tank! Then we have, excuse me. Cody, blood money. Also on the side of Ricky Simón, interesting. What did he say? Oh, he did say, he said by decision. Ricky Simón's gonna get a decision here. And for the tiebreaker, we've got Johnny K. And Johnny K is going with the favorite in Jack Shore. Edging out the capper majority here in this close fight. Johnny K, did you say, he did not say method of victory, but he is on the side of Jack Shore. Interesting. I'm gonna try to catch the live stream tonight after I do my horse track racing research and you know, place my bets and all that. I'm gonna try to catch Johnny K and Cody Blood Money MMA bets. I'm gonna try to catch the live stream tonight. Okay, my pick, you know what? I'm gonna go plus money. I'm gonna take the plus money on the American wrestler, American/Canadian wrestler. I'm gonna take the Ricky Simón, training with his cousin, Vince Morales, UFC fighter. I think he will have a little bit better wrestling than Jack Shore. I'm not knocking Jack Shore. I told you Jack Shore is my unranked contender pick in the beginning of the season. We did this back in January, beginning of the year, and I picked Jack Shore. But now I do think Ricky Simón will get the upper hand here. I don't think he's going to finish Jack Shore. Jack Shore has phenomenal cardio as well, but Ricky Simón puts up a heavy pace. He's going to keep the pressure coming in, and I think he's going to get better control, better ground game, better wrestling, chain wrestling, I hope. And he might even be able to get a submission on the ground. I don't think Shore's going to use his rear naked choke down there against Rick. Rick Simón is also a BJJ black belt, so I forgot to mention that. So I'm going to take him to get it done. I'm going to say by decision. I don't see it. I mean, perhaps Jack Shore's undefeated though, so it's hard to tell. You don't know what his weaknesses are. He really doesn't have weaknesses. But Ricky Simón, I think if there is a weakness for Ricky Simón in this fight, it's going to be the cardio. But I think he's going to come in ready, and he's kind of on a little bit of a win streak himself. So yeah, let's 4-fight win streak. Let's rock it. Let's go with it. Jack Shore edged out. I think that victory over Timur Valiev was too close to, you know, rest assured that Jack Shore is going to win. So my pick is Ricky Simón at plus money by decision. Moving on. Now we're getting into the two main card fights I have going on. And once again, I do apologize for not covering every single fight, but really, guys, it takes a lot of time and effort to do all the research and watch all the videos from all these cappers. It's just very tough. So I had to pick 4 that I really wanted to break down, and here they are. Next, we have the welterweight fight between the Leech, Jingliang Li, taking on the king of Kung Fu, Muslim Salikhov. Muslim Salikhov is the favorite here at minus 160. The line moved just slightly. He started out minus 175. Jingliang Li is plus 140. He was at plus 150, so a little bit of money moved the line a little bit. So money did come in, a slight amount of money came in on Jingliang Li, probably because it was plus money, but also probably because Salikhov is almost 40 years old. He's 38. Jingliang Li is 34. Let's talk about the favorite, Muslim Salikhov. He's Tapology says he's representing 2 gyms. One of them is Nova União in Brazil. The other one's Burkett FC that's over in Russia. Muslim Salikhov is a practitioner of Wushu Kung Fu and it's weird because you'd think, oh, Salikhov's name ends in OV, must be a Dagestani wrestler. He is not a Dagestani wrestler. He does have that, you know, background, but actually Muslim Salikhov is a Kung Fu / kickboxer. That's why his name is King of Kung Fu. He's a black belt in Wushu. And also, I do believe he's got like over 60 kickboxing fights, and I can't verify that, but I did, not this recent breakdown, but a breakdown before on Muslim Salikhov. I do remember that stat, and I want to say it's over 60. I want to say it's closer to 100 kickboxing fights for Muslim Salikhov. But the thing with kickboxing fights over there, they'll pull out you'll be fighting taxi cab drivers, you'll be fighting guys selling, crap from a vendor on the street. You'll be anybody that wants to step in the ring, try to make money. That's a win for you. So I don't know the quality of fighters that he's got wins over. But I imagine, I think he did do some time over in Glory MMA or Glory Kickboxing. That's the kickboxing scene over in Asia, and I can't verify that either. But he does have some definite kickboxing credentials for Muslim Salikhov. Okay, most recently, Muslim Salikhov is coming off of a win over Francisco Trinaldo, unanimous decision. Before that, he beat Elizeu Zaleski, split decision. That kind of sticks out a little bit. Beat Laureano Staropoli, unanimous decision. He beat Nordine Taleb, overhand right in round 1. Good for you, Muslim Salikhov, good one. And before that, Ricky Rainey punches round 2. So Muslim Salikhov able to hold his own against anybody in the UFC at welterweight. And hopefully that stands true against Jingliang Li, the Leech. Obviously from China. He trains out of China top team. Leech will have a slight 1-inch height and 2.5-inch reach advantage over the King of Kung Fu. The Leech is coming off a loss to Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat literally ragged out, picked him up, carried him over to his corner, threw him on the ground, and then rear naked choked him in round 1. Like, it was kind of, looked like he was just, wasn't even trying. It was pathetic on Jingliang Li. I was like, is this guy even going to put up a fight? And he really didn't. He didn't. Just Khamzat, I'm telling you, literally picked him up, moved him over to his corner, and I think he was talking as he was like fighting the guy. I think he was talking to his corner. I shit you not. Before that, though, Jingliang Li does have a win over Santiago Ponzinibbio. Got him with a left hook in round 1. That's a good win for him. He lost to Neil Magny by unanimous decision. Before that, he also beat Elizeu Zaleski. Now, here's a common opponent. Muslim Salikhov beat Elizeu Zaleski. Split decision, meaning one of the judges scored it for Zaleski. Interesting. Jingliang Li didn't even let it go decision. TKO round 3. Before that, he beat David Zawada, the German fighter, by side kick to the body in round 3. If you could end somebody with a kick to the body, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Good for you, Jingliang Li. So, very interesting close fight here. We're going to start, throw the cappers up there, get these boards ready. Starting with Muslim Salikhov. We've got taking Muslim Salikhov. We've got Johnny K. And he's saying Salikhov should get the decision victory here, despite his old ass, 38. Then we've got Cody, Blood Money, also on the side of Salikhov. Then we've got Dev. Dev is saying submission round 2. Should I write that? I'll write sub. And Sal, both on the side of the King of Kung Fu. And we've got Vlad, UFC, Celebrities and Classics, also choosing Muslim Salikhov. And finally, the Contrarian Picker, MMA Fight Club. Manny on the side of Jingliang Li, TKO round 3. I think he's fading the cardio on the 38-year-old Salikhov. I didn't watch a breakdown. I just asked him this morning. I was like, "What's your pick?" I will watch the breakdown tonight. Like I said, time permitting. But yeah, Manny's all over Jingliang Li, and I can't blame him for it. Plus money too, plus 140. I like that, but I gotta go with my gut and my initial pick, I haven't swayed off it. It's just the recency bias. Khamzat embarrassed Jingliang Li and turned Jingliang Li into a fan. I think the next time Khamzat came out for a fight, I forget who it was against, but Jingliang Li was there sporting like a Khamzat t-shirt. It's like, oh, and in Chinese he was like, I'm a fan of Khamzat, after he embarrassed me in front of big crowd, and it was cringy weird, but can't blame the guy. Guy got embarrassed by Khamzat, and now he's a big fan of him. Hey, what are you gonna do? But I'm gonna go with Muslim Salikhov. I think the King of Kung Fu does still have it in him, despite being 38. He's not 40 yet. And this is a 170 welterweight fight, so you can still compete in the 30s. Despite being late 30s. But I wouldn't count this out. Round 3, Jingliang Li, he probably will have the better cardio. I just think I like the background, the experience, the knowledge of Muslim Salikhov. Despite the UFC or the professional records, Li has more wins, but substantial wins too. I don't know who's had the tougher schedule. I mean, the losses for Jingliang Li were tougher, but Muslim Salikhov 18-2. He's only got 2 losses, and they're from I think his most recent loss. Don't quote me on this, but I want to say it's like 2016. So he hasn't lost in quite a bit. I'm going to take Salikhov to get the victory here. I think he's going to get it done by decision. I don't see him finishing Jingliang Li, but who knows? Maybe he'll do some kung fu and get him over his corner, start talking to his corner while we're naked. I'm just kidding. But man, what an embarrassing loss to Khamzat. Anyway, moving on. We're at the main event. We got T-City, Brian Ortega, BC Dave's favorite fighter. BC Dave's a big fanboy of Brian Ortega. Taking on El Pantera, Yair Rodriguez. Rodriguez comes in as the underdog at plus 155. The line moved slightly. It used to be plus 140. Ortega came in at opened up at minus 165. Now he's minus 180, meaning money's been going that way for Ortega. So let's start with the favorite, T-City. Coming off a loss to Alexander Volkanovski, the champ, where he very close to submitting Alexander. I don't even know how he managed to withstand that. You just can't submit. I don't know. But he managed to last and not get submitted, but I thought for sure. I'm like, oh my God, T-City. Oh my God. I thought for sure he was going to make him tap, but he didn't. And he came out and won unanimous decision for Volkanovski. Before that, he did beat Chen Sung Jung, unanimous decision, the Korean Zombie there. He lost to Max Holloway, doctor stoppage in round 4. But Max Holloway, unless he's fighting Volkanovski, he's a beast. And fighting Volkanovski, I don't know. I can't tell you. Here's a common opponent. Brian Ortega knocked out Frankie Edgar. TKO punches round 1. All right, I'll talk about it when Yair Rodriguez when I do that breakdown. Before that, he got a guillotine over Cub Swanson, very good. He trains out of Black House, according to Tapology. I didn't have time to look at anybody's Instagrams, so I'm just going by what Tapology says. But check for yourself on Instagram, and hopefully you see some training videos with some of his training partners. Now let's talk about the underdog opponent, Yair Rodriguez, 13-3 for Rodriguez, coming off a loss to Max Holloway, as I just mentioned. Max Holloway looks good against everybody except for Alexander Volkanovski. What are you going to do? So nothing doing there. Before that, he beat Jeremy Stephens, unanimous decision. And before that, he had a no contest against Jeremy Stephens because of an eye gouge. I think Jeremy Stephens accidental eye gouged him. And from what I heard, Rodriguez just acting like a little bitch after that happened. But I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't remember seeing that fight, and I don't know. I don't know what happened there. So I'm just being honest. Before that, another common opponent, Chan Sung Jung. Both these guys beat him. Yair beat him by elbows in round 5. Good on ya. Where Ortega beat him by decision, unanimous decision. Interesting. And how the Korean Zombie does not, he can take a beating, but Rodriguez took him out, elbows round 5. Before that, though, he took a loss to Frankie Edgar. Remember I said Ortega took out Frankie Edgar TKO, punches, round 1. Yair Rodriguez, doctor stoppage, round 2, loss to Frankie Edgar. I'm just saying, the MMA math, if you want to look at it like that, Ortega definitely has the advantage on the ground. I saw an interview with Rodriguez and somebody asked him, what are you going to do when it comes to the ground? And he's like, stay off the ground. That's my game plan, is not let it go to the ground. I guess he's going to play the ground is lava. So because he's going to try to avoid going down there at all costs. However, T-City, so if you're a good enough wrestler and you're good enough with takedowns, you're going to get it to the ground anyway. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Let's see what the cappers have to say. In this fight, Ortega is slightly older, 31, Rodriguez 29. Who's got the height and reach advantage? Rodriguez. 3-inch height advantage, 2-inch reach advantage. Hopefully he'll use that to his advantage when he's trying to keep it standing and keep at a distance and throw some strikes. Get him in there and maybe hurt Ortega. Ortega does get beat up badly. His face gets swole. If Rodriguez can keep it standing, he can edge out a decision or potentially knock him out, or doctor stoppage, or standing TKO. I don't know. This fight could go so many different ways. But let's see what the cappers have to say in this one, starting with the favorite in Ortega. We've got taken Ortega. UFC Celebrities Inc. Class 6. My boy, Vlad, Bulgarian Cowboy, on the side of Brian Ortega. Then jump over here, Blood Money. Okay, Cody, taking the underdog at the main event. Saying decision. Cody coming off of back-to-back winning weekends. Good for you. Me too. Me too, Cody. I'm on back-to-back winning weekends as well. Then jump back over here. We've got Dev and Cell. Dev says decision. Cell didn't specify method, but he is definitely on the side of Ortega. I don't think that I did watch their entire show, and they did differ on a couple other fights, but majority of the card they're in agreement on almost all of them. Then we've got Johnny K taking the underdog in Rodriguez, and he said knockout, 4th or 5th round. Interesting. Johnny K saying Rodriguez is going to get the KO, 4th or 5th round. And finally, for the tiebreaker, we've got my man Manny from MMA Fight Club. Man, you know what's great about Manny's breakdowns? In the description, he'll post links so you can watch their fights. You can watch tape on it. He'll post a link to Ortega's fight versus Volkanovski, I think, is in there. All these, every single one, every breakdown he does, he puts links in the description. You can just go to his channel, listen to his breakdown, which is very informative, and then go in the description and watch the fights yourself. Their past performances, past fights, just so you can make your... Manny, good job, buddy. Touche with that. Manny will be joining me Friday for the live stream. And really, I hope BC Dave's computer came in so he could also join us. That'll be fun. But Manny, I forgot to write it. He's on the side of the favorite here in Ortega MMA Fight Club. Taking Ortega for the win. So edging out majority of the cappers there. He didn't say how. I'm going to also go with Ortega. I see it. I don't know how Yair Rodriguez is fantastic. I think that fight against Max Holloway was one of the best fights of the year that year. And but I'm gonna take Ortega. I don't see how Rodriguez can. I mean, I saw Max Holloway take Rodriguez down. If Max Holloway could take him down, I think Brian Ortega, T-City, should be able to take him down as well. And once it does get to the ground, I think he's going to get the submission victory for T-City. Yeah, Brian Ortega. So I'm going to say Brian Ortega by submission. That is my pick. So to recap, all right, time check. Wow, it's starting to get late already. And I knew I was going to go over, but to recap, I've got Ricky Simón beating Jack Shore by decision. Then I have Jung beating Hanyak, Dustin Jacoby by decision. Oh, I did that backwards. And then over the main card fights, I've got Muslim Salikhov beating Jingliang by decision. And finally, I've got in the main event, Brian Ortega getting a submission win over Yair Rodriguez. Rodriguez himself knows that he's dangerous on the ground. Even in the interview, how's he going to defend that? Somebody asked him, he's like, just keep it off the ground. That's not good enough for me. I think hopefully he's been working on his takedown defense to make it interesting, but I think Ortega will find it going to the ground, and he will find a submission over Yair Rodriguez. So there you have it. There's my picks. Once again, I apologize for not being able to cover the entire card, but I will cover every fight in my Friday night live stream. So stay tuned for that. That'll be Friday around 8:30 Eastern time. So gather the info, and there's plenty of it here. Place your bets and cash those tickets. I really appreciate you watching. Fill the comments. Fill down there with all your comments on who's going to win these or any fight on the card. Because as I mentioned, I wish I had more time to do more capital comparison picks for other fights. I could go through the list right now and tell you every one of my picks, but I don't want. I'm going to save that for Friday for the live stream. So I hope to see you guys there in the live stream on Friday. And good luck on your bets. Check out all these cappers. Their links will be in the description. Subscribe to them as well. And good luck. And I'll see you guys Friday.